On today's show, Irene is at a nightclub when a storm kills large groups of people, including the DJ. And she then wonders, could she maybe step in and play the music? Because the party is continuing on. Joe, who is getting on in life, has two great dreams that encourage him to step into helping the helpers. Because despite what he thinks, his age is actually an advantage for him. Welcome to the Dream Interpretation Podcast with Michael and Sandy.
Hello and welcome everybody.
This is another half hour of us eavesdropping on the very personal communication between you and the spirit world, because that's what your dreams are. They're messages from your higher self to your soul. And when we look at the dreams, we intercept the message so we can get that message into your logical mind. And you can then figure out what you want to do to get into alignment with what your higher self wants you to do. Sandy, any messages?
Yes, I am so excited. We're counting down. We're within 2 weeks of our summit. And so I'm real excited about that. We've got our Dream Interpretation Summit coming up October 6th through the 8th. And you know what? You give us $97. We teach you how to interpret dreams, and then you get your money back. Michael, once again, that is just so surprising. You want to share more?
Well, I will share the URL. It's dream-analysis.com/free, because it is free after all. You get the money back. And we do send you a recording of the event once you've registered. And the recording is also free for a good bit of time after the event. So you can, there are pieces you're not going to be able to see live, you can catch them in the recording. So no excuse to not register. And we even started our bonuses today. So there's a whole week of bonuses we're giving away. That's group sessions with me that people are getting. That's all for the early birds though. But a lot of other bonuses have gone out. We've started getting emails from people saying they got it all and they're really thrilled with that. So there's a great buzz starting now. So really looking forward to that. But you still have a chance to register. dream-analysis.com/free. We start on the 6th of October, and we run the 7th and 8th as well. And we accommodate Europe this time. So we've accommodated that by putting on a special at least early in Pacific time, part of the Friday for just people in Europe. So what else do we want to do, Sandy? Dreams?
Yes. We have some fun and interesting dreams. So I'm looking forward to this today. So I'm going to dive in. The first one is entering a closed parking lot from Joe. I somehow pulled into the entrance to a parking lot, but as I drive in the area before the booth, I now see that this parking lot is closed, even though it's morning and it should be open right now. Maybe there's construction going on inside. I back up from the arm that swings down in front of your car. I'm thinking, do I just back out of here? I see an orange cone, and I'm thinking, why didn't I see that on the way in to tell me not to enter? There might even be a red X someplace, like on a billboard in the lot. As I go to back up, now I'm wondering, are there wheel spikes that could give me a flat tire if I back up in this entrance area? I look into the toll booth that I thought was empty. I do see that there's a bald-headed older man working there who seems to be waving me forward, as if it's okay for me to park there. After all, there are some spots left. All right, Michael, what do you make of that one?
I really like this dream, and that's why I put it here, because the message is so straightforward. This dream is from an older gentleman, and we're going to start at the bottom of the dream, where he looks into the toll booth and he sees the bald-headed older man there. So that guy is obviously a guide, because he's the person that works the car park or whatever it is. And he's saying, look, it's okay for you to move in, but he's bald. So why is he bald? We'll come back to that. So car parks are about a choice of roles or attitudes. So Joe is at a point in his life where he's looking to do something new. We can tell that because of what the scene is. He's trying to get into this car park. Everything is you in a dream. So every car that's in a car park is yours. So you can get out of your car and get into another car. And it's all about like the world's your oyster or whatever you want, whatever way you want to put it. But it's your dream. Everything is yours. So all the cars are yours. So you have all the choices open to you that are represented by all the different cars there. But he can't get in. He's kind of stuck. And then he's afraid that if he backs up, he's going to be in trouble. So he's currently obviously doing something in his life, but he has an issue. And what is the issue? And so it's given by the fact that the guide is bald-headed, because hair in dreams represents thoughts and bald-headed means you're not thinking. And so why would a guide show you that you're not thinking? Now, sometimes a guide will show you you're not thinking, and that's your problem. But if you're overthinking something, then the guide can show up as bald and say, look, stop thinking about it and just move forward. And that's what he's saying to him in this dream. So there's something going on in his life, something new that he's trying to do, and he's overthinking the problem or overthinking his direction. And we have another dream from him, so we're going to get a little bit more on that. And so I asked him to, do you feel inferior when someone asks you questions in areas you don't understand? Because I was channeling on the dream, and we see his awkwardness in the dream. And that's exactly it. So he's excellent in issues that he really understands well and deeply. And it's like, ask me any of those questions. But if you ask him in an area that he doesn't understand, he kind of goes to pieces a little bit. So when he takes on something new, this is what makes him overthink whether he's ready to take on the role and all that sort of stuff. But really a cool dream because of the end of it. And I just thought that was cool.
All righty. How about the construction going on inside that he thought might be going on?
That's really good. Construction is about working on yourself. So the dream has shown that he is working on himself. He's doing something positive. It's never going to be work you're doing on yourself that's bad.
Okay, and it's the morning.
Also good. You know, we see dreams where people say it's nighttime, and that's like, that really says, you know, when it comes to this issue, I'm in the dark. So he's not in the dark. He's just overthinking. So he's all the lights on him. Morning is really good in a dream. Dawn is the best time in a dream, but morning is really good. So it's like, this is excellent.
Orange cone.
Career. So black and orange is typically about career, but orange to do with controlling traffic, which is what this is definitely going to be career, because traffic in a dream is also about career. The main thing is that the guide in the dream says move forward. And guides are infallible. Whatever they're saying says all the other things, all the other signs that you think you're getting or receiving, ignore them. Just don't overthink this situation. Move forward. You're on a good path.
And that's where the wheel spikes and a flat comes in.
So the concern about getting a flat tire is about losing passion for what he's doing. And that's just a worry. But it's only that if he goes backwards that he will lose the passion. So move forward, everything will just keep working. It's all going to be good.
Wow, that was fabulous. That was a great way to do that dream. All right, let's dive into the second dream from Joe. It's titled, Helping Coworker with Job Exit. Sounds interesting. I'm back at Apple and headed outside by some automatic glass double doors when a group of 6 or 7 from Apple come walking up behind me with an old friend and my coworker, Robert. A younger intern, Mac, seems to be asking Robert what's wrong. I get the impression that he is taking a leave of absence. Because I figure it's odd to have a youngster chat to him, I put my arm around Robert and asked if he wants to have a talk. He does. I notice he's wearing maybe a light tan or lighter gray-brown suit, which is funny because we rarely wear suits at Apple. We continue through the double door and go outside looking for a spot to sit. There's a garage attendant station or something to our right, so before it gets like too busy on the street, we sit in the small room and talk. I asked him, "What's up?" He starts describing how if he takes a leave of absence, maybe it will work out favorably if there are layoffs or if something happens, because maybe the union can help. Not that there was ever a union there, but maybe there's some type of bargained agreement that way. I'm basically just here to support him and let him know whatever he does is probably a good idea, because I don't think he would do anything to off track. Maybe I just want him to know he's got a friend who supports him. Very interesting dream, Michael.
So following on from what we know in the first dream, older gentleman, and one of his colleagues is being kind of coached, I think he says, by a younger intern. So he looks at the situation and says, maybe that guy wouldn't like that. Maybe, and then he steps in to help him. And he sits down in, what does he say, a garage attendant station. So the same as what we saw in the last dream, where the guide was sitting saying, move forward with the car. And so this dream is quite nice because it's saying to him, look, you think there isn't a place for you because of your age. You're looking at your age and saying, maybe it's wrong of me to be trying to do something new in this stage of my life, etc. But the dream is saying clearly that's not the way to look at it, that there are roles that are particularly suited to you because of your age, precisely because of your age. And that's really cool. That's what this dream is about, giving you the encouragement that you need. And like you said at the end of the dream, maybe I just want him to know he's got friends who support him. So really this is letting you know you've got friends who support you. But you're helping out in the dream. It's spiritual leadership is the role, at least, that you're doing here because you're helping somebody. We also see lots of references to the heart because we have the double doors at the start, automatic glass double doors. So we know your connection with your guides works through intuition. So you're going to use that when working with people. So that's like you get feelings about what you need to say to people, which is good then because it's always just going to land right for you. And then we see later on, we see double doors again. We do see Apple in the dream. That's okay because this guy worked for Apple. Joe worked for Apple. And then what else have we got? The
6 or
business suits.
7.
You'd look at 6 or 7 and you could say, okay, it could be the general meaning of the numbers or else it's about an age. It does give us a clue because they're behind that it could be an age, but it's not always true. So I would generally channel on that just to make sure it is the age, and it is. And they say it's not anything to do with anything else in the dream. We do also have the fact that his friend is wearing a suit when they don't normally wear suits. So we know it's definitely a business venture for him, but we know that from the last dream anyway, because he said people in Apple didn't normally wear suits. So we have to take out of the equation of a dream whatever would have been normal for you. So if being around Apple or being in this place of work is normal, then we take that out. It may not be a dream about your career, but when you see suits being mentioned, then we know, yeah, it's definitely a career dream.
And then leave of absence.
It really shows the dreamer's fear. That's why it's not really a good thing. It's like, I'm going to do this, but things could go bad. And so if I do it this way, if they go bad, it kind of mitigates the danger or the risk for me. Whereas it's really like, commit yourself to it and do it. Don't be thinking about the fears because you project them into your future.
Very good. And then I like the end. He's supporting his friend.
Absolutely. He's had other dreams where it's really, he is going to support the people who support others. His dreams are really showing that age is an advantage for him, so don't be holding back. Age is an advantage. His natural inclination is already to include the helpers in things. Because when we talked about this, he was saying, that's kind of funny because I do always go straight to help the person who's already helping us because everybody seem to be invisible to everybody. It's like they have needs too, and they're not often helped themselves.
Wow, that's really beautiful. What an amazing dream. I like those 2 dreams. So we are going to switch subjects, and I've got a different dream here. And the title is Storm Kills Large Groups of People, but the Dying Can Be Saved. The answer is 7 and 3. And this is from Irene.
And I should say, we've broken this one up, so Sandy's going to stop after each scene. The dreamer sent it in a way that there's, I think, 3 scenes in it.
Yeah, it'll be fun. So scene 1. Some people are setting up a large space for a huge club dance night gathering. Coach loads of people are expected to arrive. There is a stage with a DJ and sound technicians on it who are setting up. But an epic storm arrives and kills the main people who are setting up, who would have been playing the music. Before I can think of a way to reach the people who are coming to warn them of the dangers here, the crowds are already walking in, and there is nothing for them except an empty space with a few of us people remaining. I am wondering if I can step in to play the music for them, but do not feel confident. The storm comes again and picks off some of the crowd. I see people losing their loved ones and am horrified and so sad that they are suffering. The storm is so bad that it even kills the unborn baby of a pregnant woman who is now wailing in pain. But somehow the party continues with people accepting that they will lose their loved ones, and they begin to dance their last dance with each other to some music that comes from somewhere. My brother is there and is dancing a last dance with his girlfriend, who will soon also die. Michael, I don't know that I like this dream. This is downright scary.
You said a minute ago, we're going to make a change. I like we're making a change. So from the title, we knew it was going to be scary. It's not horrific. It continues on and it's quite positive. You might recognize this. If you look at what the dreamer is saying over and over and over again. There's a pregnant woman who's going to lose her unborn baby. My brother is there who's going to lose his girlfriend, and so on. And it's all of this. And people are just being picked off. The dreamer's empathic. She picks up on other people's feelings. And because of that, she's gone through the world feeling like the world isn't safe. Like there's a couple, they're happy, but one of them could die at any point. You know, it's that kind of backtrack running in her mind. She's not a pessimistic person, but I jokingly said to her, you know, it's like you go into a restaurant with your partner to have a night out, and somebody's had a bad day and you sit down and then you stand up screaming like, oh no, this is terrible. One of you people here has had a bad day and you're ruining my meal. And that's what it's like. I don't have that, but Sandy has it. And she helps people on our courses that have that. And she says, here's how you deal with that. To me, it's such an alien thing, but she has that. But let's go back to the start. We see lots of her skills. There's a large space for a huge club dance night gathering. That's really good, except that it's nighttime. So it's like I'm kind of in the dark. And then coach loads of people are expected to arrive. So we know she's a counselor because of the word coach straight away in the dream. We also know she's a spiritual leader. And then the stage is set for DJs who are going to play music. So she's also a channel. So these are her gifts. But she says, I don't know if I'd be able to play the music properly the way they'd need it. So she's not confident in the channeling. And that's a masculine energy issue. And that's really what she's working on, masculine energy issues at this moment in time. And that fits because feeling that the world isn't safe is a masculine energy imbalance. So by fixing that issue, she's going to really help herself out there. So have you questions or
Yes.
go to the next scene?
No. What's the epic storm that's arriving? And why is it having to kill people?
Yeah, that is kind of funny the way it's like people are just picked off. You know, it's like there's no rhyme or reason. Life has no structure. You don't know if a storm's going to come and get you. You just don't know. Now, that isn't true. But that's her sense in life. And it just shows how unsafe she feels.
Yeah, and an unborn baby. So are you saying this happened in the womb or something?
No, it's so being pregnant in a dream is about something positive coming in. But here it's all about relationships. It's like people losing the people they love. So she clearly has lost people she loved. And she's not over that yet. And the people she loved made the world safe. So it's an easy connection, but it's emphasized because of the fact that she's empathic and picks up on other people's feelings.
And then the party continues. So is that a good thing?
The party is about celebrating her birth. So the dream is saying, you need to keep celebrating, you need to move on and do the things that you came here to do.
And last dance. Very much an emphasis on the last dance.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
But do they know? It's nice the way she does it in the dream. It's like you should celebrate this because it could be your last dance. So embrace and enjoy life. But she is also focused on the fact that people are just going to lose each other.
Wow. All righty. We'll move on. Hopefully it gets better. Scene 2. I am looking up at the sky desperately, trying to work out if the storm is an evil presence or an act of nature. I see the clouds forming magnificent shapes in the sky, and then suddenly they start moving very fast, forming rapid patterns. I know from this that the storm is coming again, and so I take shelter with 2 other women under a wooden canopy. A man comes to join us under the shelter, but it's too late for him as the rain has already started and kills him. Rain, killing somebody, Michael. Ugh.
So again, masculine energy, so we see the man die. So when you're working on issues around feminine energy, you'll probably see women die or very negative women. But once you keep doing the work, it all changes. But here, the man dies, so we know that it's a masculine energy issue. And masculine energy, like dad's biggest role is really for you to feel the world is safe. So if dad has your back, if dad sticks up for you, if dad believes in you and says, it doesn't matter what happens, Michael, whatever happens, I'm there for you, then I'm going to feel the world is safe. We know this person's father did not do that. Couldn't possibly have this dream if he did. She also has this kind of fear of letting other people down. I think we're going to see that in a bit.
Okay, there's 2 other women.
The 2 other women say part of this issue is connected to mom. Now we know she's a channel, so the 2s are going to be about that. But she's taken shelter under a canopy. So she's sheltering with mom, so hiding. Masculine energy is about your outer world and doing things in the outer world. Feminine energy is about your inner world, philosophy of life, sharing your feelings and all that sort of stuff. So the hiding under the canopy is going to be a feminine energy trait anyway. So we know that she doesn't really share her feelings with other people.
Okay, we are on scene 3. I sure hope this gets better. The mother of the woman who lost her unborn baby wants to look at photos of the baby. I warn her that another woman who had looked at photos had died after 7 minutes of looking at them. The woman insists she'll be okay and proceeds to look at the photos in her car. I keep a close eye on her, and after 7 minutes, she goes into a trance and cannot be reached. I suddenly know that there is a presence who is picking people off and that it is related to the number 7 and a crucifix. A crucifix. So I pump the woman's chest on her heart where the crucifix should be with my hands 3 times and resuscitate her back to the living. Now I know the formula is 7 and 3. I can start to help people. Well, it's still kind of creepy, Michael.
No, it's good because the end is really good. So I was saying the women represent feminine energy and mother's influence. And then we see straight away the mother of the woman who lost her unborn baby. So we know it's definitely a mom thing. And she's looking at the pictures and it's like, don't focus on that past because something bad's going to happen. I've seen it already. But what does she do? The dream is saying, trust your guides, trust a higher power. That's what the crucifix is really about. And the number 7 is about spirituality too. And when I asked her about the crucifix, she said it was kind of funny because the crucifix was on a wall, but she knew that in the dream it should go on the woman's chest. And of course, the chest and the pump, they're 2 different symbols for the heart. Putting spirituality in her heart, which is really what the 7 is about, and then using hands-on healing because she uses her hands 3 times, committing to her spiritual goals or spiritual gifts and using them to help other people is going to bring aspects of herself back to life because that's what it really is, all the people dying. And she's going to be able to help other people. So the end of the dream is quite positive. You know, I even said to her, do you have a sense that we're all on a slow march towards death? And she goes, yes, I do. I was like, okay. Well, you can see that in this dream though, right? And so that we have to fix. That's around dad. But she hides from life and doesn't share her feelings. That's around mom. And she's also a trance channel because she goes into a trance in this part of the dream. Mm-hmm. And so channeling is like we saw that at the start because she felt unsure about playing the music, which is channeling, and then goes into a trance and then can't be reached. So part of her fears come from stepping into her spiritual abilities.
Wow, that is fabulous. You're right. At least the end got good. So we have one more dream, and this is from Tina. The wrong clown will get into trouble. One clown was attacking a little boy, and the other clown came running up from behind and started fighting him. At first, I was watching from behind and I saw the clown run up to the other clown. After they started to fight, I could see them fighting from the front through one of those cutout picture things where there's a hole and you put your head through and the front is painted with a scene. And I said to myself, the little boy is going to tell and the wrong clown is going to get in trouble.
This one is pretty easy. Clowns and dreams are typically about you putting on a happy face because clowns are sad, but they have their face painted in a great big smile. And so we know that that's what this dreamer does. She puts on a happy face. And the two clowns fighting is she wrestles with the idea of putting on a happy face. It's like she wrestles, like, should I do it or should I not do it? But she ends up doing it. She tells everybody everything is okay. Ultimately, because we have the boy and everything in the dream, the little boy, it's about her becoming masculine in her approach to life at around the age 8, which is like masculine is I became logical, rational. I think about things rather than following my feelings, which would be our natural way to be if we're raised without any dysfunctions in the family. But it's a short little dream and it kind of packs a punch showing the difficulty she has because she puts on a happy face and yet she knows that's what she's doing.
So we got the watching from behind. Is this pointing to the past? Is that a nod to the past?
Absolutely. And again, it's a clown. So we know that this issue of putting on a happy face comes from the past.
All right. And then she's watching them through a cutout picture thing.
So this is going to be like, you know, these things are normally, say, on a beachfront or boardwalk, and you put your face in it and there's a happy scene on it, and all that gets added to the picture is your face. So it adds into the whole idea of her putting on this happy face, like everything's good.
Wow. Well, that's a good point. At least it shows out the detail. I think that's all we have time for today, Michael. Remind them about our summit.
I will. dream-analysis.com/free. And if you want to get your dream done on our show, go to dream-analysis.com/podcast. Fill in the form there or email your dreams to radioshow@dream-analysis.com. If we use your dream on the air, then you get a free session with me to talk about the dream after the show airs. Lastly, you can always get our dictionary. It's free on the website. Go to dream-analysis.com, download the dictionary. Thousands of symbols there from real dreams that we've done. And you can try to figure out your own dreams from that. That's it for this week. Take care.
Bye.